Hey, everybody. Welcome to Singles from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live cast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. Today, we have a special show where you have me, just myself, Kicker, the Chief of Serial, and Frontline Gaming Insider, all by my lonesome. Just kidding.
Psych.
Psych. Psych. Guys, we have Matt and Demeki from Chapter Tactics / Dice Check. Guys, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Demeki, you go first.
Okay. I'm Demeki. Hello, everyone. I am Matt's partner when it comes to Dice Check, and
in real life.
Friends. Yeah, in real life. And if you've been following our journey, we're significantly newer to Warhammer, and we're having a blast playing it.
Yeah. And Matt, you are were you the founder of Dice Check? Is that correct?
Yeah, so Dice Check, it started as a group that we called Game & Watch, and then it was specifically for board games, and then eventually our friend Bricky was like, we should try out Warhammer, and so we decided to do that, and then from there we started up Dice Check, like rebranding it from Game & Watch to Dice Check, and Demeki is like the co-founder of it, so like, we work together trying to make the best content that we possibly can on like a shoestring budget.
Well, and now you guys are legendary and have joined the Frontline Gaming Network as the host of Chapter Tactics, which is one of our longest running shows ever. So thank you.
Yeah, man, dude, Chapter Tactics is a lot of fun. We get to just like hang out and just talk about like 40K and stuff. It's stuff that we usually talk about anyways. So it's like it's just us having fun.
Yeah, it's funny. We'll get into the office and we'll start setting everything up, and then we'll start conversating, and then all of a sudden we're like, we should probably wait and hold this for the actual podcast.
Yeah.
We got to record this stuff quick.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I know you guys were both at Socal, so we're going to jump into that later on in the episode. I flew back a couple days ago from the West Coast, and I am playing catch up. So if you send me emails, messages, I apologize. I'm trying to catch up with everything. I'm almost there. But then I have about a month to really work towards LVO, because we don't have an event. Frontline Gaming does not have an event in November. Our next event is going to be the New Orleans Open in December. So I have about a month to start prepping for LVO come January.
Let's go.
Yeah. You guys are going to, I know that you might not be the Demeki, but Matt, you're going to be there, right? LVO, right?
LVO, we're all going to be there.
Oh, sweet.
No,
yeah.
I won't be.
You have a priority, right? I believe.
Yeah, my second daughter will be as of right now. My second daughter will be born on January 27th.
Can you just tell her to hold up for like 4 more days? Like just come a little later. Just hold up. Well,
I thought about it, but then I was just like, I don't think my wife would appreciate that.
Like Demeki's wife looks like that she's ready to pop right now. It's just like
okay, no, that's fair. Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to jump right into the industry news. We're going to keep it short and sweet today. New Warcry mini. I don't know about you, but I thought Warcry was dead, and they just released a second mini for the second week in a row. So I guess Warcry is still alive and well, and they're still producing stuff. They had that weird spider dude, and now they have some sort of He-Man Hulk character with a big sword. They look gorgeous. I don't know anyone that actually plays Warcry. Do you guys know anyone that plays Warcry?
No.
I've only heard it in passing. I've literally never seen anybody play it.
Well, so that skirmish game, I don't know what the future holds for that skirmish game, but we do know that the new kill team is kicking very well. I don't know. Does that make sense? Kicking well? I don't know. Everything should be kicking. My name's Kicker. Alive and well. It's growing. It's developing. It's flourishing. It's blooming into a beautiful butterfly or blossoming. I don't know. I'm not very good at being American. The point is, the new kill team is doing good. And they've just released the Tau and Sister box, which is out this weekend. New minis. There's a new sprue for Tau, and then a whole bunch of everything for Sisters is brand new. And the box is priced to move. I believe it's $170 retail, and it's filled with all that gorgeous, sexy GW terrain. So that's something worth picking up, even if you're not a huge kill team fan, because you get a bunch of minis and terrain for a great price. And
Oh, sorry.
No, take it.
So is it just one Pathfinder team? in the box?
So it's one Pathfinder team, and then they added a separate sprue that has all the cool brand new like upgrades, like a sniper rifle looking thing. And yeah, I mean, I don't play Tau. I have no desire to play Tau, but I kind of want that extra sprue just because it looks so much fun to put onto other minis and stuff.
Yeah.
And then have you guys ever played Blood Bowl? That's another like GW staple game that's been around forever.
Yep.
Yeah, you got Blood Bowl in the back.
So I bought Blood Bowl for us during Thanksgiving of last year because that's around when it came out, right?
For us, like Dice Check for us.
Yeah, for Dice Check.
Business expense. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, business expense. Just write it off.
So I bought it, and we are essentially just have so much backlog, as you can see behind me, that we just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's cool. Well, it's kind of cool that they keep on introducing more and more like characters. I don't play Blood Bowl, but I think that they're the big, like I guess important HQ units equivalent. I don't know what they're called, but they have this
Star players.
There we go. Star players. They have this weird Lizardman Croxygore Dino dude that just got released, and I just want to buy the model to paint it. It looks beautiful. Yeah.
The idea of Blood Bowl just like completely blows my mind. It's just like a football game that you play on a table, like, but just different rules. It's so insane to me.
You know, like everyone talks about like wanting there to be a Warhammer 40K movie. I really just really want there to be a Blood Bowl movie, kind of like Space Jam.
It's called Super Bowl. It's called
Super Bowl. All right, there we go. Well, guys, there is also a new GW preview this Saturday, so make sure you stick around for that. A lot of rumors, a lot of people spreading rumors of what they think there's going to be. My bet is that there's going to be some Custody stuff. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Demeki? You got. What do you think? What do we got?
Tau Codex in January.
All right. What about you, Matt? Do you have any predictions?
Besides, so Custodes, GSC.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's all I got.
That's cool.
That's all I got.
If we can get those, that's plenty.
I'm gonna reach into the warp right now and just guesstimate that Tyranids aren't gonna get a book until like late next year. I'm tapping into the hive mind right now, and that's what they're telling me.
All right. I'll hold you to it. All right, sweet guys. Well, last week in the company news, we announced the Cherokee Open taking place in February. That's going to happen. It's exciting. The Cherokee, it's happening on the Cherokee Reservation in the town of Cherokee at the Cherokee Harrah's Casino and Convention Center. It's just insane. I wanted to give this a little like tidbit of information because I just got word about this. This opened up about 2 weeks ago. The convention center is actually attached to a multi-tainment center. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's the word that's in their description. And I just want to read this verbatim from the multi-tainment center at Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort. Features 24 bowling lanes, an exciting game center with the hottest new arcade games. Enjoy our cocktails, delicious appetizers, and mouth-watering signature entrees in the esports zone on the bowling lanes or on the fireside patio. That sounds sexy, right? That sounds wonderful.
That sounds great, but it also sounds like a bowling alley. It's just isn't that just a bowling alley?
Don't knock the bowling alley. Don't knock the bowling alley.
Well, I do like that it said esports, so maybe there's like a PC bang there or a PC bong.
Yeah, they're playing Diablo 2 while everybody else is bowling.
Yeah. Getting on that new world.
That's the only teaser I've been given. Like we booked this place almost a year ago, but they were still building it, and now it's all finally coming together. And I'm getting a little bit more information. But it looks like a lot of fun. So you can play 40K all day, and then go next door, literally attached to the building, and go bowling if you really want, and eat appetizers. I don't know about you guys, but the bowling alleys. Yeah.
I was gonna say you can play 40K, and then you can go to the alley or to the bowling alley area and then go to the PC bong and play Dawn of War and then just continue.
Wow.
There you go.
All right. I've got a game plan for that weekend. Wow. So we wanted to ask the community on the Frontline Gaming community Facebook page, what do they want the 40K event there to be? Do they want it to be a singles event or a team event? And yeah, no, we're like Frontline Gaming is really about like listening to the players. What do you guys want? And I really thought we were going to get a little bit more people going for the singles event, but overwhelmingly right now, as of today, Wednesday, the poll's been up for 2 days. It's overwhelmingly teams. Everyone wants a team event.
It's so much fun. Teams is so much fun. I mean, because those are the two events that I've been to so far. Both been team tournaments that I got to participate in play wise, and then like the Socal Open was my first singles event. But I got to be a table boss, which was even cooler. So,
yeah. I mean, Matt, have you? I mean, I know you haven't been to a team event before, but obviously you've got your crew. You can imagine just getting in a car together, driving up, going, hanging
Dude.
out, and kicking butt together as a team. It's
Yes.
got a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, like, bro, I think December there's a team event happening in Pasadena.
Nice.
And it's like I really want to join it. I really want to go to a team event because everything that I've heard about team events is really interesting because you have not only do you have like player optimized terrain at most of them, but you also get to like basically do a draft phase of
Oh.
like which army's going up against which army. And I think that is just amazing.
Yeah, that sounds it just adds a whole nother like level to the whole tournament, you know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna make the call later this week, but based off the poll right now, it looks like it's gonna be a team event in Cherokee. So that's late February next year. So that's only like a few months away, not too far away. So get ready. Guys,
You know what'd be cool about you know what's cool about the team event?
What?
You know, everybody's, you know, buzzword freebooters, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go to that team event, you bring that skill list that just absolutely murks freebooters, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you're just like, this is it. This is our team comp right now.
There you go. Boom, boom.
You got
boom.
freebooters, I'm bringing this. Like
There's a way to beat them. You're saying how do we beat them? Like we'll talk about it in the later half of the episode. But
yeah.
yeah, that list is brutal as we'll discuss.
Mhm.
Oh hey guys, so the New Orleans Open is gearing up. I know we've been talking about this for a little while. I just want to give people the update. I've been placing the orders for the swag, and one of those swag items that I just ordered are the challenge coins. These much loved challenge coins that Frontline Gaming does. Every event that we have a challenge coin, we always have our challenge coin perk. If you bring your event, if you bring your previous coins to the event, you get like a little benefit or whatever. I'm going to be very excited. I'm very excited to tell you that you don't want to miss the challenge coin perk at the New Orleans Open. It's something that's brand new. We haven't done it yet. I've kind of mentioned it at Socal, and then I realized I was not supposed to. So I'm not saying it yet. I'll say it next week probably. But the challenge coin perk at the New Orleans Open is something you don't want to miss. Let's just leave it at that. And at that same note, I wanted to say that this Friday we're going to announce a whole nother event. Yes, that's another event that's in the pipeline. This one will be taking place in August. I can't go into details. You'll have to find out Friday. Check out the Frontline Gaming community page for the formal announcement of this other event that we're doing in 2022. So a lot of new exciting stuff happening. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to jump over to the Frontline Gaming Network news. I don't know if you saw Grim After Dark's episode last week. It was amazing. Yes, it did focus on interviewing Reese, and yes, Reese is my boss. And no, I was not kissing his ass by just saying that. That was my favorite episode in a while. but Reese really, you know, he's not just my boss. Like he's actually a friend of mine, and it was kind of cool to listen to the whole episode and get to know him a little bit more. But also really like learn about the history of Frontline Gaming and how it came to be. Because I didn't realize that Reese was like that big of an influence in keeping 40K alive and making it what it is today.
It is insane. Like Reese, without Reese, 40K, like the competitive scene of 40K, and like I would even stretch it as far as to say like 40K in general would not be where it's at today if it wasn't for Reese.
Just, you know, let's give him a round of applause. All right, thank you, Reese. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. Honestly, I was like, I don't want to say this because everyone's gonna think I'm just like sucking up to my boss. But I was like, no, it was like a really good episode. You know what else is really good on the network? Chapter Tactics. What do you guys got going on?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
go ahead.
All right, so pretty much what we did yesterday was we had Mark, Bricky, and John P talk about their being at and playing at their first tournament, which was the Socal Open this past Saturday.
The first major.
Yeah, their first major. Well, this past weekend, Friday to Sunday. And then Matt and I talked about what it was like working with y'all and helping y'all out during that time.
Yeah, and we also plugged in during post. I plugged in a bunch of interviews that I did during the event. On the next episode when it comes out, I think it might come out tomorrow or something. There's interviews with a lot of the top 8 tables. Scott LaFountain, who ran Chaos Demons in top 8. Interviews with Junior, interview with Quentin, interview with Joel, Logan.
Oh wow!
Logan and Brian Poland from Tabletop Titans, Adrian from Tabletop Titans. Lots of interviews that I plugged into there. So if people want to listen to what people are saying about the top 8 table and how they did their games, there you go.
Nice. Do you guys have anything cool happening on Dice Check or any games you're going to be streaming or playing?
Yeah. So next weekend, well, it was supposed to be this weekend. We were going to start up the what's it called? The Dice Check Tournament Arc 2 that we were doing. But obviously, like after coming off from SoCal, it was just like too much work for us to finish it in a week's time. So instead, we pushed it off to next week. So November 6th is when we're doing it. We're doing it for every single Saturday up until I think like the week before Christmas. The last time that we did the tournament arc, we had like casters and everything. It was like this huge event. And we're basically doing that again, but this time more professionalized, more streamlined, and all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to watch that. You guys do really good stuff on that channel. I'm very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. And you guys were telling me you had basically every single army on hand in your office right now, ready to rock and roll, which is amazing. I'm very jealous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very jealous. Guys, we're gonna jump into the ITC recap real fast. We got to do this. 40K comp track. Brad Chester is number 1 right now. Our producer got to hang out with him this weekend and get his ass kicked. Sorry. Sean Naden is number 2. John Lennon is number 3. Jack Harpster is number 4, and Colin McDade, who was at Socal Open along with Sean Naden, is in number 5. The 40K hobby track, we have Lee Harris at number 1, JT Steiger number 2, he was at Socal as well, Scott Boucher, Nicholas Wenker at number 3, Scott Boucher number 3, Nicholas Wenker at number 4, Noah Bedome at number 5. I think I saw Noah at Socal as well. A lot of people are at Socal. That was kind of cool, right? You get to see so many players of notoriety there.
Dude, there was so much. I met so many people at Socal that I've only talked to on Discord at like at like different Discord, like Grey Knights Discord, Tyranids Discord, just like people that I talk online with, and it's just like, oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know you.
It's so surreal to finally see like somebody in person that you've been communicating with for 6-7 months or so.
Yeah.
Dude, guys, I was happy to see you guys, and like that was the first time I met you guys in person too. I'm like, oh, that's what Matt and Demeke look like,
Yeah. Just a lot bigger. Wide and tall.
You were sporting some kick-ass you were sporting that kick-ass hoodie, the Fila hoodie. I'm like, oh, nice.
Oh yeah, the pink Fila hoodie.
Yeah, you got some style, man. And Demeke, I have to compliment you on your beard. I cannot grow facial hair, so when I saw yours, I'm like, wow, that's my dream right there. One day,
my wife hates it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dude, try being on camera with this guy, dude. He puts. I can't grow facial hair, and I just look at him, just like, man, this guy looking like a lumberjack over here. And I got like my crappy Fu Manchu trying to can't do anything.
Your Fu Manchu is more than I can grow. Seriously, it's embarrassing. I can go like sideburns and look like I'm like in the Civil War or something.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Just have that be your thing. Just grow it all out and just have it just like come all the way down. No one's done it before.
Yeah, my wife would just lock me outside of the house. So, guys, the Age of Sigmar comp track, we've got Gavin Greger at number 1, Caleb Walters at number 2, James O'Brien at number 3, Anthony Trentinelli at number 4, and Noah Aquino at number 5. For the Age of Sigmar hobby track, we've got Christopher Hernandez at number 1, Nick Garcia at number 2, Ian Wood at number 3, Derek Page at number 4, and Noah Aquino at number 5. I apologize. I'm not as good at that as Seth. He's been doing that since the beginning. I've never actually read any of those names before. So if I butchered them, sorry. My name's Kicker. You can make fun of my name all day long. Guys, I want to jump into the meat and the potatoes, the really good stuff of the episode here. You guys, Matt and Demeke from Dice Check / Tapper Tactics. Do you want to give any more history about how you got into the hobby? Because you said you had Bricky, I think, introduced you to it, but did you guys ever see this like at a bookstore and you saw a Black Library book? Did you have like a friend that had a Space Marine when you were in like middle school, or where was your first interaction with the hobby?
Yeah, for sure. Demeke, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So the first time that I probably ever saw anything Warhammer related was I would think I was about 13, 12 or 13. And we went to the Discovery Mills Mall in Atlanta with my grandfather because my grandfather absolutely adores that mall. The reason being is that there's a Bass Pro Shop at that mall. So he took us to Discovery Mills Mall and we're walking around and there was a GW store and they were playtesting Warhammer.
Oh,
I don't know what edition or whatnot, but
First edition.
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
You're watching stuff in black and white. What's going on here?
But he did a play test of the game to show us, like, me and my brother, how it worked. And this was just regular Warhammer Fantasy. It wasn't even 40K, because he was telling us like how the terrain worked and like hills and all this other stuff. And my grandfather was just like, oh, okay, you've entertained them long enough. Now let's go look at hunting stuff. I did have a friend growing up that did play Blood Angels, and he talked about them a lot. But at the time, I was really into Pokemon and Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering. So like, I was just like, yeah, Warhammer, whatever.
Yeah. For me, let's see. I was always interested in 40K. Like, I saw it a little bit when I was growing up. Like when I was little, my parents like moved around a lot because my mom was in the Navy. And so a lot of the times that I had like growing up, I was building stuff like small little model cars. I didn't know how to do anything, but I built those up. Some Gunpla stuff. And like I would look at Warhammer stuff and I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that looks cool. I want to get that. But obviously, I couldn't buy them because I was a kid, right? And so I grew up, but like I always loved like tabletop stuff, like Yu-Gi-Oh. I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, even played like Duel Masters, Beyblades,
oh nice,
all
Beyblades,
that stuff.
yes.
Yeah, all that stuff. I loved every single one of them. And I wasn't reintroduced back into Warhammer until I saw the Astartes thing on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So that piqued my interest a little bit, and then Ricky said, "Oh, we should try it," and then I was like, "All right, fine, let's see what's going on."
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Nice, guys. Nice.
Mhm.
I just got messaged by somebody. I don't know if you guys got the chat. I can't read the chat. If anything pops up and you guys need to we got to respond to it on air, please feel free to do so. But I got a message. Somebody has my direct cell phone number and insists that I ask this question because I'm known to ask it, and I have not asked you yet. Demeki, what is your favorite breakfast cereal? You gotta go. Don't think too hard. You gotta ask.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Yes.
And what is yours? What is yours?
Fruity Pebbles all the way.
Okay. All right. I can respect the Fruity Pebbles. Right,
bro. There's Fruity Pebbles now with marshmallows in it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
Oh, it is amazing.
but so Reese's Puffs is a good staple, right? You can't go wrong with Reese's Puffs. Everyone likes peanut butter, unless you're like allergic to peanut butter, and then it just kind of sucks to be you.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I have to say, Fruity Pebbles is kind of an underdog. People just don't talk about it that much. Cool, guys. Sorry, in case you didn't realize, Matt and Demeki, I'm sugary breakfast cereal obsessed. It's kind of my thing.
Reese's Puffs. You should ask Reese why he named it Puffs. Like why?
Why?
Like, what's going on here? Yeah.
Why did you do this?
I will ask him tomorrow when I give him his. All right, guys. So let's just get this out of the way. We brought you two gentlemen on here because both of you were working at Socal this weekend. Matt was constantly roaming the floors, recording content from all the games being played, while Demeki was dutifully acting as a table boss for the Frontline Gaming Network stream and monitoring exactly what happened at each of the top tables. Guys, I'm so grateful, as a Frontline Gaming staff member. I'm really grateful for you guys to jump in and help, because we could not have done the event without you. Multiple people within our the staff, they're like, these guys are awesome, like we need to hang out with Matt and Demeki more, like the Dice Chick guys are kick butt. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have you guys there. But you also and on this episode we're grateful because you had a very unique perspective on the event as a whole, and I like to kind of chime into that. First, streaming events. I mean, you saw kind of the craziness that happened there. And some people, I guess, don't know what happened. Demeki, do you want to maybe take it and say what happened? Because you're like the IT, you're like a Navy SEAL IT stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was an Air Force IT.
Okay.
And that's also, I got my degree in networking.
Okay.
And my current job, I do IT as well.
Yeah.
A lot of server management, whatnot, dealing with switches, routers, and all that good stuff. So yeah, there were a couple of hiccups. It was kind of funny too, because when we were talking in our group chat, I was John P, because he's kind of a IT guy, and so is Raph. They were like, wow, Rome wasn't built in a day, but the SoCal will be, just because of all the logistics that was going on. It was pure insanity. I love living in chaos.
Yeah. Well, the venue was giving us a really hard time. We needed an internet stream, and they were not cooperating. And you guys stepped up and saved our ass.
Right. So what ended up happening was we did a test the night before, and we were getting the bandwidth and everything that we had expected and was promised to us at the time. Then the next day we come in, and of course everything's changed.
Yeah.
Everything is now like half the speed. We're dropping packets. We're having some packet loss. Just little gremlins everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So then, Simon contacted you, Val contacted you, saying, hey, we're running into issues. And then like I, gave you my professional diagnosis as to what was going on with the problem.
And I'm asking you like,
And
okay, what is the exact words I need to say when I'm talking to venue management? And you wrote it out for me nice and clear. And I'm like, okay, I did it,
yep.
And then they're
Yep.
like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just an event coordinator. You don't know any. I'm an IT specialist. I know. I'm like, well, then you and Matt basically said, Kicker, just step aside. Let's handle this, And you guys basically, big brain battled him, like you guys knew your stuff better than they did. And you basically proved to them that we weren't getting what we were supposed to be getting, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, because like I told him, I was explaining to their networking guy. I was like, look, man, anytime that you deal with an ISP, whether it's for your personal private line at home or for a business, you're guaranteed up to 80% of that bandwidth.
Yeah.
And we were getting 50 or less.
Yeah.
And it was very intermittent. So like I was like, you can't BS me.
Yeah.
Don't spit on me and tell me it's raining, because
Yeah.
it's not.
and I don't know how many people have seen Demeki out in the flesh, but after that confrontation, for lack of words, between you and the IT guy from the venue, that guy walked away with his head down. He looked like a beat dog. Like he was like, "Oh, geez, don't mess with the Frontline gaming staff." So no, man, I really, you guys saved the day. And Matt, the entire day, you're running around, probably doing 1,000 miles, recording everything, getting shots, interviewing people. I mean, that's a lot of work on your end. Did you log your steps for that day?
In my head, I just keep a counter. I just 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
well, like so you have these IT issues. You have a lot of work to be done, like actual work, going and talking to players. I mean, is it worth it? Clearly, streaming is not an easy task. I mean, do you guys find it easier the more times you go to the same event, or are there always just hiccups you have to deal with?
There's always hiccups.
Yeah.
We try to get to the studio anywhere between 2 to 3 hours before the stream.
Yeah.
To properly test everything, make sure all the audio is correct, because probably the biggest problem, and you kind of saw it at the event, is always audio.
Yeah.
We were always having an audio issue, not as much lately, but that was our number one problem. Other things,
lots of troubleshooting,
right? Other things that we kind of took care of over time, like we would change technology because we knew it would help improve our stream. So like we got rid of certain things, we started doing certain things a certain way. We incorporated some things, but like using NDI, like we use NDI occasionally, but we don't try to overuse it because there is like delays when it comes to NDI. So like we've gone through all these different things. I remember one time we had a meeting and I was like, stop introducing new technology. Just stop. Let's figure out what's going on first, and then we'll introduce more. But
that's my fault. I'm always jumping as high as I can to like try to figure out what the ceiling is. You know what's funny is that we used to use these lav mics because like we've gone through a bunch of different tech.
Wait, dumb it down, because not all of us are sophisticated like you guys. I'm just a swamp boy from here in Louisiana. Like, what is did you say a lap mic?
A lav mic.
A lav
so
mic.
lapel,
like a lapel, like
so
you'll attach it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like it's like wireless. It goes into the mixer that then feeds into the computer, right? So we were running like lav mics before, and we used like these things called Rode Go's. Okay, and they were fine until we started introducing like 4 of them, right? And then they started like mixing channels and stuff. And then on top of that, because when we got this office, it was like during COVID times, right? And no one was in the building with us, right? So like clear sound, it was totally fine. And then as like things started lifting, our office is located right above a church.
Oh no.
And so like their signals started getting mixed with ours as well, because they run lav mics. And so like it's just now it's just like really funny because like we're playing these games where it's like, yeah, chaos demons and blood letters, and then you just have a church underneath us. Just like,
it's so unholy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you're talking about different technology and whatnot. Matt, have you found any new formats of streaming that you want to try to introduce or maybe pick up? I mean, I noticed that a lot of times at events, you kind of just stream the tables, and I've seen Val slowly start to do from 1 table to 2 tables. We're at 3 tables now on camera. But what I saw you doing at Socal, which I thought was really cool, and you talked about it earlier, was you were roaming the grounds, interviewing players, getting additional content that was not just focused on the table. What was like, is that something you think you could do more often, or is that just way too labor intensive? I mean, is it worthwhile? I love it. I mean, I'm not super focused on the competitive play. I like to see the event as a whole. And I mean, I like the competitive side, don't get me wrong, but I like that you could go focus on Legion for a little bit and check out those beautiful tables, or look at some really cool armies, or interview, celebrities like that are on deck. Is that something you're trying to pivot more into, or is there a new format that you'd consider for other events?
No. Anything where you can get any type of interviews, any type of stats that you could show up on screen, anything that like the world that we live in right now, people want constant like synapse hitting their brain, right? Of just like, it doesn't even matter what the information is, as long as it's like flashy and it shows like something, then people like really enjoy it, right? Nice. So interviews, like especially when it comes to like 40K, right? When you have like these long lulls of like a movement phase and like kind of like these downtimes, right? Or like in between games even. Interviews I feel like are so important, especially like making sure that people stay interested in the stream. So I feel like live interviews are amazing. Just going around the event and just like quickly editing something, because you can totally do it like super fast, and just like dropping that into a stream. Like I feel like that's just
Dude,
it's invaluable.
So cool. It was so cool. I was watching you do it. I'm like, wow, you are a professional. Like I was floored that you were able to do these live interviews, edit them up, and drop them so quickly. I mean, awesome stuff, man. Well, I hope you can, purely for selfish reasons, but I mean, I think the audience as a whole would really enjoy it. More of these on the fly interviews. Guys, I want to kind of jump into the finals at SoCal, because this has created quite a bit of controversy, on the interwebs. Everyone's talking about it: Reddit, Discord, Facebook.
It's a hot buzz button.
Right, hot buzz button. So for those that weren't there, it was a pretty big deal. Let's just go like a quick recap. It was a weird ending to SoCal that was kind of anticlimactic. We had one of the best players in the world, Sean Nading, beat turn 1 by a far lower ranking player. He's a wonderful player, I'm sure, but he's no Sean Nadin's, I mean, like, let's just be honest. And so Sean even went first in that game with his Drukhari, but the Orc list just basically tabled him turn 1. So, and that caused Sean to concede, I think, the rest of the game. Demeki, you were the table boss. You know more than anyone else. You were watching these games, all the top tables, and you were watching this game, of course, the finals, and taking notes. Man, you want to elaborate maybe a little bit more what happened? Maybe kind of just give us an idea what kind of Orc list was being run, and exactly what happened to Sean?
So it was freebooters with 4 flyers, a lot of trucks, and what were those like not the what is it called? I'm trying to think of the car, but it's not
the truck squig buggy.
The artillery thing.
Scrap
jets.
The one like the battering ram with missiles and stuff.
Basically a better shock jump.
So the pairing, like Sean Nadin's list is a good list. It's 7 Venoms, and it was designed to combat AdMech, right? Because Venoms have a -1 to hit, a natural -1 to hit. The problem with freebooters, or with that particular list, is we're talking about like over 500 shots coming down on you, and being able to almost hit you no matter where you're at and what you're doing. The one time that the guy that won lost was because he was playing AdMech and he did not win turn 1. Funny. And in the AdMech lists are almost the same way. We're talking about 3 to 4 flyers, a bunch of Skitari, and some chickens and whatnot. So it was really weird. Drukhari did make it. There were 3 Drukhari just in the top 4, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we had Sean Nadin's, Junior's, and Quentin. And Quentin had to fight. Junior had to fight Sean Nadin. Quentin had to fight the freebooters list, and Quentin got destroyed, demolished. Yeah. They both look like they had a lot of fun, but like they were talking
in a 25-minute game, right? You know,
yeah.
And so quickly.
But we also have a. Oh, I don't want to interrupt you, but we do have Logan in the chat right now as well.
Oh, hey Logan, yeah,
awesome,
the winner himself.
Yeah.
So like the list. So my thing is that, and I talked to Wyatt Turk after this, or after the tournament, as we were going back to his hotel room. We were talking about the list, and the problem isn't necessarily freebooters, because if you nerf freebooters, well, then someone's just going to take that same list, and run it as a different culture, right?
Yeah.
And it's still going to be very effective.
Yeah.
So like, it's not necessarily freebooters' fault. It's just the flyers and
artillery,
the artillery,
because we're seeing flyers being kind of, for lack of a better word, abused in AdMech as well. We were talking about, I mean, and even in 8th edition, flyers were a problem when people were running Eldor or Eldar with them.
Yeah,
right.
So you think the problem is flyers and artillery, right, Demeki? That's kind of what you're thinking.
Yeah, and like, it needs to be a point adjustment, or just stipulations on the number of flyers you can bring, as well as like maybe an additional cost. So if you want to bring more than one, if you want to bring the two, maybe an additional CP cost or something.
Oh, I kind of like that. Yeah, did you come up with that? I like that, man. I kind of like that.
It was just more stuff that White and I were kind of bouncing back and forth talking about.
I want to be more specific about this, though. It's not necessarily just flyers in general and artillery in general. It's the cost of these units, right?
Particular ones.
Yeah, because usually when you have flyers and artillery, you pay a premium. Like you look at Hive Guard for Tyranids, a group of 6 of them cost 270 points. You compare that to like a Rucka Truck or a Make a Track Scrapjet that doesn't have, and they don't have like the amount of toys that they have, and it's almost like laughably points efficient, you know? But I think that's a problem. And then also the problem is that the meta as of right now is a lot of MSU T3 chaff, right?
Yeah.
Lots of T3 units that are being pushed around. You have your AdMech, you have your Drakari, and you have your sisters, right? Because like if you look at something like in the top 8, there was a player named Joel Wilson, same team as Logan XPZ.
Okay.
And
it's a local San Diego team. They were actually really cool. They helped set up, by the way.
Yeah. He brought in Dark Angels, right? And his list was just literally just a bunch of Termies. Okay.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of Termies and Dark Angels. And that list was literally designed in order to face off against Freebooters and AdMech.
Yeah.
And when I was walking around the top 8 table, when he was playing, he was going up against Freebooters, and he was very, very comfortable going up against Freebooters, right? And he was saying that in that game, I walked around that table like 4 different times, and literally nothing was happening. Like nothing was dying. And but yeah, like I feel like that what's happening is that I feel like that hot take.
Yeah. Let's take
this Ork list is just shaking up the meta to make it so then people are going to start bringing more resilient things, right? Like Custodes is a great matchup against into it.
Yeah.
Death Guard would also be a great matchup into it. Even and Dark Angels would be a great matchup into it. So I feel like that's what the problem is as of right now, is that like it's so in your face and like it's so drastic of what happened at this game, where it was like, oh yeah, this turn 1, this Orks Freebooters list beat out Drakari, who's like T3, and like these units that are like pretty flimsy against this amount of artillery. But then if you put that against something like Dark Angels, Custodes, or anything that's like super tanky, even Scarab Occult Terminators, that those lists are going to, like the Freebooters list is going to struggle.
Yeah. So let's not let's not discount Logan's win. That was still a legit win, which is awesome.
Definitely.
He built a great list that unfortunately is a really good counter to a lot of the other stuff out there. So Matt, you're basically saying that the meta is going to have to kind of adjust to be able to take this punch from the Orks.
Yeah, it's obviously going to have to adjust until GW does some type of FAQ that they will eventually do, where it'll be like some type of blanket like nerf to flyers and artillery, which is probably going to happen in the next MFM. But besides that, like I feel like it's just a switch in the meta of people starting to take things that are more tanky and more resilient comparatively to what people are bringing now, where it's just MSU T3 chaff.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out to you guys because you guys, been playing, I guess, since 8th, 9th, late 8th. Like, does it annoy you guys coming into this game system and it being kind of like rock paper scissors, and you just want to make sure you're always on the right side of that like, because that's how it feels right now, right? If you don't always want to be getting your butt handed to you because you don't have the tools to, right? Like, because that's how I sometimes feels like your list either has the tools to go or doesn't. Does that annoy you? Do you think that it should just be player skill? Like in my dream world, I believe that any army, regardless of the faction, should be able to win if it's played by an amazing player. But that's not how it is, because it's a dice game and there's a lot of different variables at play that you can't have that perfect balance. But I mean, does it frustrate you guys to see like that we had this kind of, I guess, finals last weekend?
On an entertainment standpoint, yes, because like, you know, even the audience was kind of upset about the outcome.
Yeah.
It would be like, for instance, you watch the Super Bowl and, you know, the team that you root for just got crushed, destroyed.
Yeah, in the first 5 minutes, the first quarter, the game's over.
Yeah. So, it for the entertainment aspect, yes, it is bad. For even tournament standpoints, it is bad, especially for new players. Think about it. You go to your first tournament as a new player, you probably aren't the greatest list builder, but you've done your research. You've really tried really hard. You got some practice games in, and then you go up against this type of list and you just get decimated. Like, it might hurt, right? It might hurt you a little bit, and might deter you from maybe going to another event. It could very well do that. So it is bad. And hopefully they do something soon to correct the problem.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, so I think that I agree with Demeki where it's literally just a entertainment problem.
Yeah.
I think that from the game aspect, I think it was I think it's totally fine.
Okay.
I know buzzword, like it shouldn't happen.
Matt
obviously,
says totally
right?
fine.
Yeah. It obviously shouldn't happen, but what this entails is that it's just making the meta different, right? And if the meta stays stale, where if everything is symmetrical, a lot of people say like something like chess, where it's like symmetrical, right? Yeah. But then even with chess, like I think that what is it? It's either like black or white usually has a higher win rate, depending on what you do. But like being able to change the meta constantly, I think is very healthy for the game. I think that it makes it so then it's a little bit more hurtful, obviously, for hobby leg.
Yeah.
But I think that even if you don't have the tools to face against like these top army lists, as long as you keep playing, you can maybe you won't get to top tables, but you can get dang close. Like we see that. Like what Tyranids got to top or was close to getting to top 8. Demons were close to getting to top 8. This was a turn. This was a major where like only 3 players out of the top 8 were undefeated.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's just what I think.
No, I like it. I like it. Well, guys, I wanted to say that Naden had made a really good statement, and he's just being a real role model, all things considered post event. And I wanted to share his statement. He wrote. Basically, he says. Congrats to Logan Heath for his great run at the Frontline Gaming Socal Open this weekend and his dominating win in the finals. It's time for me to go back to the drawing board and be ready for some Ork menace. I want to thank all my amazing opponents for the 9 games of 40K this weekend. I just think it's really nice that Sean's focusing on the positive. He's congratulating his opponent and trying to figure out how he can beat him next time. I think that's a good way to end a tournament, and he really is a role model in that regard. Guys, one last little segment I want to jump to really fast because I have the opportunity to ask you guys future events. We have a lot of events planned for 2022. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. What do you guys think? What can we do? We can do absolutely anything. You're talking to me. We can make anything happen.
In space.
In space.
All right, space.
Do it all in
outer
space.
Done.
We can do that too.
Contact Elon Musk. Let's get it. Let's do it.
All right. We can make it happen. All right. I was thinking more like, do you want more singles events or teams events? But we can go to space and do either one of those formats as well.
I'm definitely into the team event side. Like I had so much fun I did 2 team events this year. I did LVTT, which was y'all's first team event.
Yeah.
It was a good time, great time out in Las Vegas. And then I also did the Dice Hammer event in Irvine, which was also great. And it was like a good warm up to the LVTT.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely enjoying the team events. I look forward to maybe working with the Air Force gaming group to see if we can get some stuff going too. Being an Air Force veteran, I like supporting my brothers and sisters in arms. So I'm hoping to talk to them and see if we can get some stuff going as well.
Sweet.
But definitely looking forward to doing some more events next year. Just not 100% positive when I'm going to be back to doing events.
Yeah. You got work. You're a damn good table boss. So that's the problem. When you're too good at your job, no one's going to let you go back to just playing and having fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt? What do you think, man?
What do I think? What would I like?
I mean, besides going, I know you want to go to space, but for example, what kind of merch should we make or swag? That's something I'm like. That's like part of my job. Like every morning, I sit down and have
a trophy,
like
a big trophy,
like you want like an obnoxiously big one,
like an obnoxious trophy for the winner, like the price of a ticket trophy. Like that's what I want to see.
Okay. If we're doing an obnoxious trophy, are we talking something like classic, like your standard trophy, or do you want like a relic, like a replica like chain sword made?
See, now that's real fancy.
Yeah, that's fancy, right?
But that takes a lot of effort,
but it's functional too. It's worth it.
Yeah,
everyone needs a good chain sword at their house. So
yeah. That, I mean, like that would be sick. I would love to see trophies like that. I think having like a stage and like projector screens like showing the top tables throughout the entire event on all 3 days, I think would be amazing to have for an event, because then it keeps people engaged. Having the casters be hooked up to like a PA system would be amazing as well.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, for LVO, I just finished working on that with my I guess my counterpart at the Rio. We are going to try to have a beautiful stage, which we almost definitely will have a stage. And I'm right now negotiating, have a giant, like massive movie theater style projector behind you streaming, so we can stream the content directly to that, so that everyone in the crowd can kind of watch what's going on. So what about but I like the PA system, man. You got some ideas. Okay, wait, what about this? Do you think that we should have like an after party or anything like that tied into it, or is that just I don't know.
Hold on a second. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, right. So like a post event after party. Cool. All right, and last one, guys. Like hoodies. Should we make hoodies for events, or is that just like
I love hoodies. I love hoodies. Like if y'all had like the same, even if it was like the same artwork for the shirts, as a hoodie, I would 100% buy one. I love hoodies.
Hoodies are amazing. Hats. I love hats.
Well, dude, like we sold out of our shirts, we sold out of the shirts. And it's like, well, maybe we need to make more of this stuff because people really like it. Cool. Well, guys, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Do you have any last little words of wisdom or anything you want to plug for the upcoming week?
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say is that, cause like I've been reading a lot of stuff on like Discords about like, the Socal Open and, Sean Naden losing and stuff. And I know that a lot of people are upset that Sean Naden, lost, to somebody that was like he was still like number 200 in the ITC. Like,
player,
he's still a legit player. I think like during the times that he's played, he's gotten like in the top 10 at like 13 different events. So like the guy has put in a lot of work, especially like that team as well. And to see somebody like get knocked off the table, even if it was like only on turn 1, I feel like that's a good thing for the community of Warhammer, because then you're introducing new top players to people.
Dude, I kind of love that. Yeah.
Like you're introducing new players, new stories that people are going to be listening to. It's like, but like when it comes to like something like if you look at League of Legends, right? Like if Faker loses mid lane to somebody, everybody goes crazy, and then everybody picks up that mid laner, right? So it's like I kind of look at it as like the same thing where like don't discount Logan's win just because he brought freebooters. Kind of like congratulate him, and then look at the entire aspect of the competition like through a bigger scope, like through a bigger lens.
Right.
No, you're absolutely, Matt. That is beautifully stated, and that's like seriously, that's beautifully stated. And I think that's the like you're right. That's a whole new story right there. Let's follow this guy's story and see where he's going to go. Because you're right. He has put in the reps, right? I mean, people put in a lot of time, and it shows. And eventually, they're going to have their day. We're going to get the right matchup and end up taking it all the way home. And I think you're actually very right that a lot of people were just maybe shocked that the final game, the entertainment value, as Demeki called it, was not as exciting,
Yeah.
and that bothers people. But at the end of the day, you're right. This guy did put the reps in, and he worked his way up that ladder, and you know, obviously he won it. What about you, Demeki? Got any last words of wisdom or anything you want to plug? I see you're wearing your Braves.
Dude, this guy has been talking about like what is it? Is this baseball?
The World Series is going on right now. We won last night, and they're playing right now. But if the one thing that if you're going to an event, always be respectful of your opponent and others around you. Go to have a good time, no matter what, win or lose. Every time that I've gone to an event, I've met a lot of new people, a lot of nice people in this community. Unlike some of the other communities that I've played in before, Magic the Gathering. Yeah, it's a great community. Don't let other people's stories from tournaments push you in the wrong direction from going to one. You'll have a blast, trust me. Just find a couple of friends who also play with you and go together and just go to have a good time.
And you'll make friends there too, right? All my friends, like all my closest friends now are all 40K friends, which is just crazy for me to think that the majority of my social network now is guys I met rolling dice with. Yeah. No, very good point, Demeki. Thank you, guys. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Signals from the Frontline. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Producer, cue us out.